morning, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. We're trying some new effects today. We're going to do a double screen camera and some other cool stuff, so there'll be a few growing pains involved. So let us know what you think, because we had watched some other readers and they had nice visuals with the cards, and I really wanted them to pop because the artistry is so beautiful in these cards. I wanted them to really stand out, so we're going to have that. So today we're going to do a multi-pick and how do they feel about me, and we're going to have a 6-card choice. And right before I start, I want to thank everybody. And at the end of the video, there's going to be a thank you for our new Patreon supporters and things on there. But I want to get right into the reading because I'm already starting to receive some information. Okay, so number 1 is going to be Blossoming Abundance. Number 2 is going to be Cornucopia. Number 3 is going to be Appreciation. Number 4 is going to be Woman with a Heart. Number 5 is going to be Goddess of the Moon. And number 6 is going to be Magician in the Mirror. And if you're lucky, you'll get each of these twice, like you got Happy Happy the other day. That was so funny. I was very tired, if you couldn't tell in the video. If I stopped and paused and it was snowing as well, I'd go into this dreamy state, and I was worried about India at work and everything. So I was like really spacing out. So if I paused at all, I just lost my train of thought. And I love that Happy Happy card so much. It's wonderful. So yeah, we're going to start with that. So let's get, I'm trying to see, I've got my magic decks, what I want to use. A lot of you guys really write in all the time and say how much you enjoy this deck right here. So you'll know the one I'm using right now is the, what are these called?
Steampunk?
Yeah, the Steampunk. I have so many decks in front of me right now that I was like, yeah, so Steampunk. I know a lot of you guys like this. So we're going to start right now with Blossoming Abundance, which is number 1. So I hope you guys made your choice. So how do they feel about me? You know, we talked about this before on some of the other things too, about how things get cross-wired and misinterpreted, and it's so silly that our mind will usually go to the negative, right? If we don't hear from somebody right away, it goes to, oh my God, he thinks I'm ugly, he thinks I'm off the charts, weird, or anything like that. I'm actually... If 4 will fit in here, I may do a 4. Yeah, you know what? I'll do 3 because I like to work in 3s. But for starters, I just want to share this too. There were some messages that I was reading and I was writing down this morning, and I really like these. Everything alive in the world was created by love, right? These are from some of Colette Baron-Reid's beautiful postcards from Spirit. So I loved this so much. It says, Spirit sends love to animal life to burst into existence. Love is without conditions, and it is based in reverence and fierce and joyful respect for life. Love thrives when you focus on it, and we want you to turn away from anything that causes it to wane. Love is when you no longer see yourself as other, separate, or better or less than, etc. When you act as love, you give permission to the world to thrive and grow, and it will. Can you let go of what is not love and ask, what would love do? Love is waiting for you always and forever. It's very true. When we come from a place of compassion and balance and always love, it relaxes us. We fall back into our natural self that is inclined to always make the best decision because it's not reactionary. We're responding, we're not reacting. You know, it's that sit back, settle into yourself, and have a natural reaction to it. So let's see what's going on with these. The 8 of Cups, 10 of Swords, and 7 of Pentacles. Wow, this is, wow. Okay. I gotta slow my roll here. I was like hearing too much of one thing, but I understand it. It's working through something. So this is how they're feeling about you currently. If there's someone in your mind and you know they're in your periphery and you're wondering what they're thinking about you. Okay, right now, it's like they're contemplating an offer, and this sounds really weird, but a lot of you guys are very sarcastic. So they're afraid if it's in, this is a very particular group, so they're afraid that if it's in a certain social setting, that they'll look idiotic or silly because you'll do one of those funny sarcastic rebuffs like you're joking, right? Or call my father and ask for permission for my hand in marriage. Things like that. It's like, yeah, I had a million brothers, so I remember when someone would show up in the door, it was always real fun, right? It was like 7 brides for 7 brothers kind of thing. It was crazy. and this is how they think about you too. They think of you as a they're overwhelming themselves with just on a simple approach and hello. Like they're thinking way too deeply into this. They're thinking in terms of game over before it even starts. A lot of them. So some of these gentlemen and women that want to approach, they have a defeatist attitude. Ten of Swords is very like to the ground. And I know what this is pertaining to. This is to this present energy. This is pre-holiday, and this a lot of this message from source is in America, and right now we are approaching what's called Black Friday, and it's an utter nightmare where we live because it brings out the absolute worst in commercialism, and people act like animals when they go into stores. I guess they can get like deals on things or something like that, and but you see them on the news afterward. I don't watch anymore. They literally will trample each other, and these people, a lot of them are in retail, so they have this, they're having anxiety about that. It's I feel that right now is a big pressure in the air of a lot of people working in retail, restaurants, places like that. They're already in that activity. So again, I want you guys to remember, always please live in a 24-hour window. That's what I do day to day, sometimes only hourly if I have a lot of personal things to get to and reads and little things I want to attend. I'm like, dude, do it in 1 hour chunks. That's how you can do it. It's very digestible. It's very simple. So you guys as well, if you work in retail, wherever you work that's going to be involved more in the holiday season, catering, whatever it is, entertainment, just slow it down and breathe and realize we don't have to go into tomorrow. We don't have to go into next week. Just relax and enjoy today. Today, I'm going to watch a nice film. Today, I'm going to have a great meal. All those things that will calm you and put you in that loving space, okay? So I see that the person that is thinking about you, they're also tied up in the what is the whirling dervish to become of a Black Friday and the holiday season of Thanksgiving here. Pretty much mid-November, it's when it hits people. And I used to do this as well because I worked in those industries where you'd be like, you'd get so charged up because you were expecting. And this is the thing, we get what we expect, right? Our thought pattern. So these people are expecting to get trampled, to get annihilated by the masses. And when that happens, you already have conflict spirit, right? You're already ready to do battle and engage and get ready to fight. And that's not so wonderful. That's pretty much, yeah, no. That's already like preparing to be fat on your baklava for Thanksgiving, and you already have to exercise. You know, I mean, you're not even enjoying what you're doing because you're already targeting what problems are going to arise. It's good to, you know, troubleshoot and everything, but this person's caught up in that. They are thinking of you, but again, that's why if you see them and they're approaching you, be really warm and smile and be nice because it's a hectic time of year for a lot of people, obviously. But I love this with the Seven of Pentacles. They're actually in their head how to get a convincing plan going because they're trying to woo you, and they are also taking into account your feelings of what's coming up for you and everything, and trying to smooth some pathways for you too. I feel like these are other coworkers as well that are trying to make you look really good in the higher ups' eyes. They're talking you up. These are other classmates that are keeping an eye on you, and they think you're smart. I hear a lot. They're brilliant. They're smart. They have a good sense of humor. So these significants are thinking about you. But I know over on the American aspect where I'm hearing a lot of the messages is there's a lot of angst that's attached to the holidays. So they're trying to relax. I feel like if you guys get in that mode too, the best thing to do 100% is music. Whenever I get too ramped up, too many messages, too much going on, I start to listen to music for sure. Because when you stop fighting everything and expecting everything to be a bad surprise, everything will fall into place when you're just accepting 24 hours. Then things are like, I always want to expect the best, and what's around the corner is going to be fun and cool, right? It's like, why? Why would you, if you said, just think of like, the Oz, okay? You land in Oz and you're like, you see all these fields, you see this yellow brick road, you see all these munchkins, you'd be stoked, right? You're like, what the hell is this place and what's going on here? But then you get some people right away, they have fear of the unknown. And when you have fear of the unknown, you lose your sense of adventure, right? And like fresh experiences. And we need that as people. We need to anticipate something fun, to have a little joie de vivre in our life. We want to anticipate new experiences, new people, places, and things that are going to help us with our growth and our excitement and our learning, not any kind of agitation or fear aspect. And this is great because this person, once they get over this angst for self, they start to develop a plan with the Seven of Pentacles. And they're starting to feel that that if you were incorporated in their space with their friends, that you would get on so well with them, because I feel like a lot of you would blend well in a lot of different cultural groups. You're very non-judgmental. You're very chill. You like hanging out. You don't like to be over social. I feel like some of you like some social, then you like to go back because you can suffer social anxiety when it's over much. And yeah, they're waiting to make you some kind of offer too, and it's going to be balanced, and they're very respectful, and yeah, they're looking forward to that. I love that. Now I want to, I love the animal cards, the animal oracle deck cards so much, excuse me, but I had placed the book somewhere, and where I know these to an extent, I don't know them. This is really weird. You want to know what just happened? Okay, so here's an entire deck, okay? This just flew out of the middle, and it's not part of the deck. It's like the deck knew that this had its own home, and it literally flew out on the floor, and it's the only odd card in there. That's crazy. And it's not, these are not smooth, so it would like, these are brushed paper, so they're tough, so they wouldn't, that's crazy. My cards are funny. They don't like to be mixed up, and they'll like, if I put things in the wrong place, something will happen where my attention is drawn to it. They like to be amongst their friends. Okay, so let's see what's going on with this. This is going to be your, oh, brown bear spirit. I love that. So I'm going to put that right in the middle. I adore these. That's one of my favorite cards, the brown bear spirit card. I love that. So it says, take time out. I feel like this is going to be an overall reaching message for a large group of you, because when I just think about the holidays, and I don't need to go out for one single thing because I've ordered everything. But I just think of years past, and I can actually feel my heartbeat increasing, stuff getting tense because of some of the experiences. No lie, when I was 9 months pregnant with 9 months in India, and I was in the bookstore, I managed a Walden bookstore. I was sitting down and I was putting some romance books on the shelf, and this guy comes up to me, and he looked homeless, and he got his face literally an inch away from my face, and he goes, "What's it gonna effing take?" And he said the F word, and when he said that, I had to dodge spit because he was literally spitting on me, and I went, "What's it gonna take for what?" And he goes, "For someone to come to the mother effing counter and wait on me." So I had staff, and a couple were over putting books, I remember, in history and over in the magazine rack. And I said, well, if you approach anyone with a name tag, they'll be happy to help you. And then he took his little pile of whatever the hell he had, World War II things, and he slammed them down on the floor, and he muttered something, and he stormed away. And I don't know why, but I wasn't upset at all. It was so bizarre and berserk, but right away it was like something inside me said, he's gone past his due date. He can't shop anymore. And it was like really close to Christmas, and people do, they start to crack. So just be careful of being around that atmosphere. You feel tense, if you're in, avoid it at all costs, because it really is just an invitation for calamity and hellish goings on. Yeah, I'll remember that my whole life, because it was comical to me, because he was so over the top. He looked like a cartoon character, and I thought it was going to implode. I'm like, dude, I'm about to have a baby. I don't have time to get upset with your garbage. It was very weird. So Brown Bear Spirit says, take time out. There is time to act and a time to focus your attention on patient strategizing. The arrival of Brown Bear Spirit signals that you are best served by foregoing hard work toward your goals at this moment and instead taking the time out to meditate or just take a nap so you can refresh yourself and begin planning what you want to co-create next. Come to know the lay of the land, and as you contemplate and imagine what you might do in this vast space of possibility before you, and begin forming a plan. Remember, sleep allows for dreaming and rest allows for a clear-headed strategizing. How might you become the person you wish to be and experience whatever your heart desires? Insights will arise as you explore the possibilities and begin envisioning your plan. Absolutely. Whenever I start to overload, I put everything down and I go sit down. I usually read or I listen to quiet music. Then it's almost like you get the restart button, right? And you get to replan. So we're going to do an affirmator card. Yeah, that's part of it too. So also if you're wishing this person that you're thinking about as well, and you're wondering how they think about you and stuff, what you have to do is, if you're thinking too hard on it, take time away from that. Listen to nice music, listen to something funny. text some fun friends, go on Facebook, pull away from that and set yourself into a different environment that'll change the temperatures. Look at this. This is all backing up every single thing. No need to do. Yeah. With the lights, I figured out that's the problem with the seeing in the glasses is the lights. It's just too much. I'm exactly where I need to be, exactly when I need to be. There's nothing I need to do. I mean, yes, there will always be laundry and taxes, but in terms of my life's path, I don't need to do anything because I'm already here. I take a deep breath, I relax, and I trust, and then I do the laundry. Exactly. There's a big message for all of you with Brown Bear and that to take time out. No need to do. I feel like a lot of you, yeah, right preseason, just do as little as possible because you know you might have to do a little extra later, right? So like baby steps, 24 hours, and if you start to feel a little overwhelmed, an hour at a time. Absolutely, you're going to feel recharged. You're going to feel like that slow burn instead of trying to do a sprint and being like, psh, and for shizzle, you're out of the game, that type of thing. So that was you guys in Blossoming Abundance. Beautiful. Well, I love that in Brown Bear too. Absolutely beautiful. So don't forget, if you're new, to press like and subscribe and press the little bell down there so you get notifications when there's new videos up. And all my links are down below for private reads, any information you want on Patreon. Thank you guys for your Patreon support. I'm going to do a little thing at the end of that and thank you personally because you guys are terrific and I'm excited for the cool stuff we're going to put up on the page as well. So next was Cornucopia. Again, our topic is, how do they feel about me? I need a little sip of soda. All right, Cornucopia. How do they feel about me? Yeah. Again, relationships are funny because sometimes life gets messy, right? You hear from one person, oh, so-and-so Jonathan said this, Matt said that. And then things seem like they're in chaos or they're tense and there's disarray because feelings are the most intense things. Obsession, rejection, all those things that can play into it, right? We don't want any of that. We don't want obsession. We don't want dejection. We don't want mass euphoria. We don't want massive fluctuations of things. We want to be on an even keel so we can be in it for the long game, right? Who would you rather hedge your bet on? Someone who's reliable and reacts usually the same way. I mean, yes, they can be spontaneous and fun and all that, but they're not reactionary. Like, you ever see those people you never know what you're going to get from them each day because they fluctuate so greatly? I mean, I can be like that. I'm a product of my environment. If a lot of people around me want to do alphas and they want the last say and there's a struggle for that, I'll just pull away. I won't engage whatsoever. Or I will out alpha all the alphas and I'll just squash it because it becomes too much. People don't realize that they're jostling for position or jockeying for position. And until you call them out on it and say, hey, this is not what life's about. We're not here to be the end all be all, the loudest voice in the room. You know what I mean? So again, when you see that going on around the holiday table or anything like that, just pull back and become the observer. Save your energy because let the clowns be clowns. Otherwise, you'll burn out and you'll be aggravated. I have a really loud family. And they used to all get together and they'd all talk over one another. And me and my father would like, well, this is my mom and all her brothers, but they could still all understand each other. But to somebody not engaged in that sort of language and overlapping language, it just seemed like white noise. It's crazy, right? So let's see in terms of you guys, how they feel about me. Very nice. You're going to have some messages coming in pretty soon. Wands and it's passion. 6 of Wands. Ooh, the Parade. And the 8 of Pentacles. Oh, these people are passion. They do think about you and they think very passionately. They also see you as like a heroic figure. I'm not sure. I see some of these people, you're involved in academics, some of you in medicine, some of you in therapy, dentistry, all of that. And you're seen as a rather heroic figure because also some of you, because you have more than one job and you work very hard. So you're held in high esteem for your work ethic and they're very impressed by that. That's lovely. I love that. And there's going to be a message coming in. I feel like with the Page of Wands, it's slower moving and the person is a little shy, which I like because there's a humbleness about them, a very quiet, humble, where it's not an insecurity. It's simply abiding their time for the best approach. And also they know you're busy and they know you work hard and they hold you in a kind of reverence too. And they see you in a little exalted position too. So they want the timing to be right. And with the 8 of Pentacles, they're putting the work in. They're actually learning about you through other people. A lot of this is also on social media. So they're going through and they're seeing your likes, your what you're involved in, your charities, stuff like that. I see a lot of you people too are into animals. You really like your dogs, you really like your cats and horses and stuff, and they're investigating that through Instagram and Facebook and things like that. Oh, I really like that. That's sweet. So let's see what your animal spirit card is. Owl spirit. Owls. You can see clearly now. Yeah, so you guys are going to start to get contact pretty soon. You're going to have people. I don't know what happens on Instagram. A lot of you ask me if I'm on there. I think I just started it, but I have to do some kind of fixing with that. But you guys, I think they like your stuff and they can contact you. And I feel like that's what's going to come with the Page of Wands. You guys, the majority of you are going to be contacted and try to be wooed through that arena too. Yeah, again, they're a little bashful at times. I think it's really cute. I prefer shyer, quieter, deep thinking men as opposed to just really loud type, like those people from down the Jersey Shore. I'd have a stroke in one day. I'd have a stroke. No offense to anybody from New Jersey. I love that, like Long Island. I love those accents. I love the vitality and the fearlessness that's in you guys. But when you get a pack of like Jersey men together, I just feel like it's like, oh Lord, the hell of it all. I watched that show once and I was like, I thought it was like a joke. And I'm like, people act like that just all over the map. So Owl Spirit says, you can see clearly now. Owl Spirit arrives to remind you that the wisdom within you is informed by your keen senses and the wisdom within the consciousness we all share. Even in the darkest night, the owl sees clearly and is guided by every sense it has, including the first sense of intuition. Right now, your sensitivities are turbocharged and you are receiving messages from all directions. Owl Spirit reminds you to be wise and pay attention to what's between the lines and what's invisible to the naked eye, what cannot be heard with the ears, and what others may not be able to perceive. So yeah, a lot of you guys out there that have clairaudience, clairvoyance, those, if you're empathic, all those things, you have clarity before the rest of the group. And you know, it's sometimes nice to use that wisely, right? When you have an understanding of a social situation and you can grasp what's going on internally with a few people, always come from a place of love and help for those people, because some people just don't have those skill sets and they'll remember the help that you offer them in a lot of ways. I mean, never burn bridges, because I've been so lucky that, you know, I've just been in a good place when some bad things have gone down. And so when you can correct those things, people are eternally grateful, because we don't always all have our bearings straight, right? If we're tired, frazzled, or whatever, we have to assist and love each other for sure. So clarity will come when you sit with all that you are sensing, allowing your intuition to guide you and understanding the whole, not just the parts. Let your wisdom arrive and be your guide, and trust the acuity of all your senses. Intuition is real and can provide clarity you need to understand your situation right now. Your relationship, your finances, your job, whatever it is, you can see the truth clearly now. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, sometimes when we take in a picture and then we sit back and release it and we're calmer and we're in a really chill spot, that's when the information comes to us, right? Not when we're seeking it. Like, you've seen me just have complete brain stalls when I'm trying to think of an actor or what they do, like, and I'll try to force it and my brain will lock up and it'll come to me in the middle of the night and I'll be like, oh yeah, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. He's not Thor or whatever I thought the other day. RoboCop, that was it, yeah. Authenticity. So, oh, your Affirminator card is authenticity is the name of the game. Whatever comes up, I will feel it. Whatever needs to be said, I will say it. Whoever doesn't get it doesn't have to, but at least they'll know it because I've said it. And that's way better than leaving a passive aggressive note about it. Absolutely right. If you feel something has to be said, go into your archives of your best wording and your kindest delivery, and then just have it flow and come out. So yeah, remember, you know, just think, how would you like it delivered to you? That's how I do. I always just flip the other coin around and put the other shoe on the other foot and say, how would I like to receive this information? You know what I mean? Nobody likes to be barked at. Nobody likes to be micromanaged. So always just do it with a very mellow, approach, right? So that's you guys. That's very, very nice. I really like that. So if you're new, don't forget to press like and subscribe, and the little bell too, so you'll get the notifications when the new videos come up. And all my links are down below if you need a private read. My Instantgo, our Patreon page, all those things are down there. Go check it out. Patreon, we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. And I'm going to start, I just started writing some of the oracle cards, so I'm going to be showing you the progress and reading some stuff out on that on camera because I'm very excited. Yeah, the words started flowing yesterday. I had some good dialogue in my head, so I started doing that, so it was very exciting. So that's you guys. Very cool. Yeah, just remember, I love the owl spirit. Yeah, just, if you guys want to, you should go on Colette Baron Reed's website. She has an app now for her cards. They're amazing. The spirit cards, and they're so cool. Remember Happy Happy yesterday? They float around and you can pick them out. It's so amazing. I adore that. I was like, very excited. So that was you guys in Cornucopia. Yeah, you can get like a 3-card spread for past, present, future, all those things. Okay, so number 3, we're now on appreciation. I might be going into a sneezing fit in a moment, so we'll see. All right, I'm going to use, these are my faves, and I need to bottom out a little bit. Yeah, so the first 2 decks, if you see any of those are the, the heck do you call those? Whatever. I'm going to have Ian will go through all that. He marks everything. Whenever I try to remember titles or names in a pinch and I'm somewhere else, it doesn't work so well for me. Oh, well. Okay, so appreciation. So again, how do they feel about me? How come no cats have come up here and destroyed the world? That's what I'm curious about. Oh, King of Cups. Oh my gosh. I just heard. Now don't get excited because this is for a collective. It does not mean every last person. So I don't need everybody writing in, Melanie, I haven't gotten this offer, I haven't gotten this and that. We have to know when we're in a collective, it's a sort of an umbrella for certain facets, certain people. A lot of you resonate really loud. That's when I feel those aches and pains, those empathic medical conditions and connections to you, is people that resonate really higher. They're in a sort of intensity or frequency I'm on. That's why I can feel that's what's going on. Again, this because when it happens, it's such a force of energy and joy that that's what's hitting me, and that's the message. So this one is actually quite a few of you have proposals coming. You have engagements coming at your Thanksgiving table, at your ancestral homes, things like that. That is for a portion of you, because that is how this person is thinking about you. So if you've been together and you suspect something might be going on, it will, and here's why. They put in the effort to find the perfect ring, to find the perfect place. They're going to be at your family or vice versa, and that's quite lovely for them. And he is your king, and that is his offer, and that's quite a chunk of you there. For people that aren't attached, and there's somebody somebody in the outskirts that's looking at you. Okay, yeah. I just had a reminder on my screen over there for something. I keep hearing, please be aware and make eye contact. I always hear that. I feel like so many people are in their devices and in their phones that they're unplugged, so they're not going to receive those messages. Like I heard a couple of you guys when you wrote in, I love this and I adore this. You were in the supermarket and you were looking around and you were being engaging and you ran into people and you were smiling and all those things, coffee shops, all these things, because people have a lot of exciting things going on this time of year and they want to share and they're happy. You ever just wait in line and you just start discussing the most mundane things like food you just found or whatever? Whole Foods is great for that because it's very relaxed and a big open canopy. Fairways, all those kinds of things. Just, yeah, I keep hearing, please put devices down. Please put devices down. So you're out there and aware, read people's body languages, say yes to invitations and stuff, because I feel like the people that are watching you, what they feel about you is you would be a great person to take out. You'd be a great person to take to meet their friends, to go to movies, to go to shows, to go anywhere, because they see you as a person. You have vitality, you would mix and mingle really well, and they see you as an accomplished person, but they also see, I feel like a lot of you are quite a lot of workaholics. When you get into work mode, it's like you're in there, you're in that facet of work, and it's very hard for you to like catch and release and bye, now I'm out, and now I'm up and I'm out in the real world and I want to meet people and do things. So they see you as very hardworking. They they haven't, a lot of these people, they have intense feelings towards you, and they're not obsessive, but like just really deep interest in you. Again, students, and they're in your classes, and they see you around campus, people you work with, colleagues, things like that. You know, they feel like you're beautiful. They feel like they would be very proud to go out with you and go places with you. I love that. Let's see what your animal card is. Yeah, I like that. Again, we'll get those devices down because you're, that's why Nightingale Spirit. Oh, love is all around. Yeah, I feel it's flourishing. I keep hearing flourishing, flourishing and fluttering, and so close by, within reach, within grasp. Oh, here comes this one. You can come up and say hello. She loves this table. This is my daughter's cat. I love her. So the Nightingale Spirit reminds us that love is all around. In the darkness of night, Nightingale Spirit sings her song of love and hope, a harbinger of dawn to remind you that the sun will rise again soon. You are so loved, and the illumination song of the Nightingale Spirit calls you to a new level of self-awareness and connection with the light. Yes, there is a shadow of darkness, but love and prosperity exists everywhere, even in the seemingly emptiness of space, darkness, and a starless night. Hearken the message, letting the music of the Nightingale song remind you that love is all around. Feel it and trust in tomorrow's light, renewing your ability to recognize the spaces that appear empty are filled with love and abundance. Illumination will happen soon. And that's another message I'm getting, that I feel that right now, some of you are in the dark going, well, does he or she like me? They're kind of in, they're kind of out. They show me some attention, but then they pull back. That's just the nature of the dance. You know what I mean? I'm just feeling that people, they don't want to be over much. They don't want to be extra. So they're trying to come at it in a very more subtle fashion, but it is there. And you'll notice the little nuances, right? The smiles, the looks, all those sweet little things. So magic is all around for sure. Nightingale Spirit, that's so beautiful. I love that. So that's you guys. Oh, you need your, oh, I know what you need. You need your freaking, your affirmator card. Life is not complete without affirmator card. I thought this said positive weirdo, because I can't, these lights really blast me the way they're set up. Positive weirdo? Oh yeah. Positive thinking. In the garden of my mind, I watered, this comes up in every read. In the garden of my mind, I water the good thoughts and weed out the bad ones. I throw in forgiveness and empathy seeds by the handful when I want, and I take a lawnmower to the jealousy and resentment patch. I'm a pretty badass gardener. Yeah, you got to just get it all out there. As soon as you have jealousy, resentment, fear, any of those things that come in your head, just say, please exit the building, please get out of there, and replace it immediately with something else. Because again, in our manifestation mode that we're going into, we don't have time for that, right? We absolutely do not have time for that. So that was your appreciation group. Love it. So again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and all my links are down below, and hit the notification bell too, so you'll know when all the new videos come in. Yeah, and all my info for private reads is down below, Patreon, all those things. Go check it out. Oh, so then next we have Woman Holding a Heart. That's beautiful. Let's see what that's all about. I haven't read that one yet. I just started going through these, and when they first arrived, I was like, are these corny as hell? Because the first one I read was man holding a coin, woman holding a coin. I'm like, who did this? Some 2-year-old? I was like, what? But then I realized, like anything else, they have a beautiful message. It's just simplified. So this is about a female dealing with family, love, and emotions. The woman on this card wears a butterfly in her hair and holds a lovely, large heart in her hands. For a woman, this card upright can be a reflection of your own state of peaceful emotion and receptivity for love, or it might be a message that your family issues are going to be resolved. You're an intuitive woman who understands the emotions of life, and you're bringing the awareness to all that you do. That's lovely, right? Yeah, sometimes when we just emanate that message of receptivity for love, it starts to come to us. And like anything else, once that law of attraction starts coming, like one person is interested and you start a rapport with them, whether through social media, real life, like attracts like, and that magnetism grows and grows and grows, right? And part of it can be charisma. It can just be that you're caring. I know some of the most respected people in large groups is those who will stop, pause to listen and reflect as well as, engage in speaking. But some people are so quick to just start to talk without any thought, and it gets distracting. Wow, this group has some cool stuff a-coming. Whoa. We had 9 of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Chariot. Very fast moving energy. And this is cool for this group too. When we're thinking about, what do they think about me? They see you as a very eloquent, elegant, eloquent, and refined. Like you really know how to dress. You're very pulled together, shiny, sparkly, happy in the mix. You're not out there in your old torn up sweatpants, like going to work or events or stuff. It's just some people, it's like, yeah, we all have our comfy, cozy days, but it's like you're putting in some effort, especially when you're going out and the occasion calls for it, right? So they definitely see that as you as very pulled together, very fashionable, very cool. In fact, they look forward to see what you're going to wear because you have a good sense of accessories, your nails, all those things. Like they just look forward to it. And Knight of Cups, how they feel about you, they want to make you an offer. They're coming in with the Chariot. It's quite soon. I see before the end of December, a lot of this. They want to ask you out. They've been watching you either at school, social media, places like that, friends and family, stuff like that. They come in contact with you. In some of your places of work, it's a customer that comes in and sees you quite often, and they're going to make an offer because they think you're really cute and sweet, earthy, authentic, grounded, I'm hearing, a good communicator, and humble too. Like you're sensitive. I feel like a lot of you are sensitive in a really cute way. Like you think of others. You're, yeah, it's very sweet. Oh, yeah, and thoughtful. I feel like if you guys are in restaurants and places dealing with food, hello, sweetie, you are, you remember what people like. This is my daughter's cat. She's very sweet and very delicate. So yeah, they're coming in with these offers, which is good. Yeah. Yeah, they think you're a boss bitch. They think you're chill. Aww, Wombat Spirit. I would love to run into one of those in real life and see what they are up to and how they really act, right? Like, how do they move? Are they afraid of people? Will they come up to you? Can you pet them? Half woman, half bat, wombat. What noise do they make? Guess what sound? If I haven't seen them on Animal Planet or any of those myriads of things I like to check out, the animals and behaviors on, like Blue Planet is the bomb. I could just watch that for a week and never leave my house. Right? Oh my gosh, Blue Planet is so beautiful. So Wombat says, be at home. Burrowing deep into the ground, remaining safe, sound, and well-fed with family is a special trait of the Wombat. Home sweet home is always available if you recognize that well-being is the truth of life. Wombat Spirit reminds you that to be truly at home in the world, you need to find comfort within your own skin. For sure. You do this by accepting all your experience without judgment. Through deep honesty and the love of life, when you feel the freedom to be yourself, you can begin to truly feel at home in your life and with your family and tribe. Right now, you're in a beautiful place where you can hang up the coat of your identity and settle into a strange sense of home and well-being, understanding that all is well. Everything you do from this place rings true from harmony in the spirit. Absolutely, right? When aren't you just your best at home? You're in your slippies and you're jamming out and you're with your animals and you're with your family. And you feel happy and free, right? There's no tenseness because you're not fighting traffic. I feel where people sometimes get the most drained and they don't even realize it's happening to them. Because I would study people around the Christmas holiday just to take notes what was going on with them, going to a mall, going to a busy place and observe. And most of it is when they're bombarded with too much sound. We are much more sensitive to sounds, honking, loud music. And what happens is in all the different stores at the mall, they play different frequencies and beats to escalate actually the selling factor. I wasn't a part of that too because I was wondering when we were at the bookstore, we usually had lovely classical chill music, and I liked that. And then I would go in another store on my break, and I would leave, and I'd have a headache, and I'd feel stressed. I was like, what the hell's going on? But it didn't even register. And being clairaudient, that is my one thing. I will get agitated with sound more than anything. And I realized that, like Abercrombie and Fitch and all that rock and pounding music is supposed to heighten everything and get you jazzed to spend more money faster. And there's tons of studies that have been done on this, and it actually works. And I really wish they wouldn't do that. I almost wish there was an across-the-board soothing type of music for people, because it should be a restful, artistic experience as opposed to a spastic, spazzed out consumer snatch and grab type of thing. You know what I mean? You ever, like, I'm not even going to get into the holiday season or I'll lose my mind. You guys need an affirminator, and so do I. Yeah, I just think about it and I physically, isn't it weird? I get the physical sensations that I experienced back then. Oh, ups and downs. Oh. This frog, what the hell's up with this frog? Okay, so let's see what's going on. I see life as an incredible ride and I'm lucky to be in on it. Yes, the ups and downs make me want to puke sometimes, but they're also what make things fun and interesting. And when you look back, even puking on yourself makes a good story. If that's ever happened, you guys, I want you to comment. I don't think I've ever thrown up out in public, but I know one time I had to have Ian pull over the car after we went to Outback Steakhouse. I had this really hot cream sauce, and I was like, whoa, I felt dizzy in the car, weird. And I don't think I've ever seen anybody throw up. But what a horrible feeling, right? Because it must be like, where you go. If you tell me if you've ever tossed your cookies out in public, because I want to know, because I'm nosy. The ups and downs. Yeah, so just realize again, I always want to remind people of this. Everything is temporary, okay? So if you feel, oh my God, I feel so tired, or I feel dizzy, or I feel unwell, or I feel stressed, it's temporary. You can breathe yourself through that and get out of that faster than you can think. Because like right before I began this too, I got a little pressurized because with the new system we have 2 cameras going and it takes some direction, and for a minute I was already getting myself in a bad mood because I was thinking, oh my gosh, if this is going to be so technical, all I want to do is listen and translate some messages. But it's like I like a beautiful production and things to look nice as well, so I just snapped out of it. When I walked around, I thought of some silly things. I thought of the cat, and then I calmed down, which was good. And you can do that too. Just be like, this is temporary. This is only for a moment. And then it's just going to go right away. So now we're going to go on to Goddess of the Moon. Love it. Let's see what's going on. I love these Affirminator cards too. Whenever I realize I have a lot on my plate and I have to get through, I'll pick up a couple of the Affirmator cards. The cat's trying to jump out the bathroom window, so never mind about that. The Goddess of the Moon is intuition and going within. This card shows an eternal spirit holding the bright reflective moon and standing in front of the crystal clear waters of a sparkling waterfall. Her arms are all stretched out upward, receiving the light of the moon, the light of inspiration. This card is all about intuition and the ability to receive insights from your soul's point of view. Receiving the card upright tells you that you have the power to get intuitive information on all types of issues, and now is the time to use it. The Goddess of the Moon brings you all sorts of information, from the mundane to the spectacular. That's my second favorite word, spectacular. For instance, you could get the urge to take... Also, will you guys write a comment? What's your favorite word? If you could pick one favorite word, what is your favorite word? For instance, if you could get the urge to take a different route home from work and find out later that you've avoided a 3-hour traffic jam, or you might have had an idea for a great invention, a stock investment, or a spellbinding novel. This card could also indicate a significant blossoming of psychic ability and mediumship, even on a professional level. Absolutely. When we listen, it's any other skill set. When we listen in, we hone in on those abilities, it only expands. You hone your craft that way by really doing that. That's why I was always so go, fire energy and go. And I would hear things, but I wouldn't even know what was going on. I thought it was my subconscious. I would think it was just me trying to cram everything in the day. And then when I just slowed down, because I realized, hey, I'm not savoring my food. Half the time I wasn't tasting my food. I was always multitasking, 1 to 2 devices going at once, conversations, texting so much. And it just felt like, again, remember the busy, but as opposed to busy, we want to just be effective so we have time to savor other things, right? So let's see here. How do they feel about me? Oh, the moon. That's funny that you got the moon and the Goddess of the Moon. That's very telling. So yeah, this particular group, I feel very esoteric, and I feel like they think you have this kind of magic, this charm, this, very nice. The world. Well, obviously they think you're all that in a bag of chippity doos. Yeah. Okay. For sure. I need to put this like in a cohesive message because it's bounce. Okay, so for a portion of you guys, that they think of you as this basically a moon goddess that has a full grasp and a higher awareness of how things work. Again, that you have the understanding how we're all energy and we're all fluid, and when we act like a river instead of a rock, we can flow around things, we can get to our destinations with ease. They see you as somebody who could, that even in the most perplexing and exasperating scenarios, you still seem easy breezy and you just go through, because you don't think everything's to your detriment. You don't think everything's out to get you. Because you always know there's a solution and you're laid back, you just seem like someone who has an aura of magic about them. Again, the moon and the world, that you are blessed, that you are in a sacred space, that you have a sense of understanding a little above and beyond, that your perspective is quite wide, and you have a very phenomenal reasoning capacity. Like, everybody could be loose. You're the type of person they're going to rely on if there was an apocalypse. You know what? You'd be like, you know what? We need oxygen. We need this amount of water. We need this food. We need this fire. These wild animals might come here and there. You need parameters. You would just have it together, and you'd be able to formulate a plan. You wouldn't be panicked. Like, we just watched The Incredibles last night. You'd be like Elastic Woman. You know what I mean? You'd be like kicking that woman off the jet, driving it through, taking care of business and saving the day. You can do that because you have that upstairs capacity to separate. You're not a fearful person too. You know that once you tap into that authority, that balance, that rhythm, that you can just go. Like, you're the type of person too, if you were out in the woods and a bunch of wolves came and you just sit down and they'd sit down and you'd all chill the hell out, because we understand dogs. You can be a dog whisperer. Dogs understand the language of fear, dominance, or compatibility, I feel like. So you can reason with an animal on their level through your energy, and you're that type of person. You know what I mean? Animals come to you because you have that. You're not out to harm them, they know that. You're not out to dominate them, they know that. And it's all energy, and that's that. You have that flow of it. That's so you can breeze through the world very easily. They see you super magical, which is really nice. Who doesn't want that? Ooh. Hence why they feel like they need that kind of approach, that nightly approach with honor and balance and integrity and their authenticity. But they also want to have a little cool factor to it, because they feel like you're ultra cool, and they know they can't just be on the reg. They got to be extra. Follow your heart. I love this so much because it's a heart on a surfboard with an umbrella. And I have to mention this because I thought it was so funny. I was watching a reader the other day and I burst out laughing because I came in the room. It was Gregory Scott, and I love him. And he goes, well, you know, when that unicorn is on the wave because he has to get the Holy Grail. And it was just the norm for me. And I'm like, yes. And I was like, if anybody that wasn't in this, you know, sort of realm, they'd be like, yeah, okay. Like, Ian's eyes will glaze over if I get too much into this stuff. He's like, I'm like, just do the technical aspects, sir. I am always rewarded when I follow my heart. I trust that the GPS in my heart knows all the best routes. And when it seems like it's taking too long to get where I want, I know it's because there are some cool, weird stuff to see along the way, right? This happens to me all the time. If I'm in a shop or something, the line is really long and I feel like I'm starting to spaz out or whatever, I slow my roll by starting to look around and people watch, because people watching is fun as hell, right? So just start doing things like that so you can take yourself out of what seems like angst, a shortage of time. Again, this is some advice I want to give to everybody right now, because I did this to myself the other day and I didn't allow myself enough time. Always have, if you're out shopping for anything, for food, for clothes, whatever you need, allow yourself a big time window. Don't try to jam everything in there. So that's you guys. Very, very good. Yeah, easy breezy. Allow that time so you can also savor. You know, it's fun when you go to the grocery store, you can see all the cool ingredients, check new stuff out instead of trying to have an intense freaking just blitzkrieg through there. I still am. You know how I talk a lot about the subconscious already being pre-programmed when I watch Jake Ducey? I'm pre-programmed to hurry the hell up every time I go in a grocery store. I don't know why that is. I think it's because I've always gone with a parent, with Ian, where they had the agenda and they were shopping. So I felt like I was just like this person looking at cereal while I was waiting. So I get this angst when I go in a grocery store. Even now when I go with Hagen and we want to look at all the weird fruit, I have to slow down. And he even reminds me, hey, chill out. We can look at some friggin' crazy looking foreign fruits and stuff, right? Yeah, life's about to get interesting when you just decide. When you decide the mundane can be interesting and magical, it really does become that way. Ooh, so the next is the Magician in the Mirror for you guys. Oh, I love that. So again, this is the how do they feel about me if you're just tuning in. Oh, I like these. I really like these. I just got these the other day and I was like, let me see what I think about these. And when I saw the man holding a coin, woman holding a coin, I was like, oh, these are going to be good. But they were the only sort of strange-ish titles, but the rest of them were quite lovely. The Magician in the Mirror is about knowing and using the power. True power. This card upright represents the culmination of your personal and spiritual power at this time. In the Magician's left hand is the flame of passion and action. In his right hand, it is a vortex of water and light, of reflection. This highly beneficial card is telling you that you are the magician, and within your grasp are the amazing forces of earth and spirit. The water is the energy of yin and the power of spirit of clarity of thought. The flame is the energy of yang, bringing direction and creativity. Together they give you a magnificent magic of transformation. The mirror stands beside the magician, reflecting the outer world's response to your choice to use or dismiss the true power that you have. Ooh, that's really cool. Its silver reflection reveals the future in a mist of the horizon ready to be magically formed. When you receive the magician, you are put on notice that the important and powerful time is at hand. And just as the alchemist turns base metals into gold, you are now able to transform your difficulties into great blessings. 100%. I believe then we stop seeing things as obstacles and we start seeing them as opportunities. It's awesome, right? And this is the challenge too, when we're wondering how other people think about us. Guess what? We could always ask them, right? Just be like, hey, what's up? You want to have a cup of coffee? Especially if you work with them or you go to school with them, you're in the same subject field. You're in the same capacity of learning. You're in the same area of interest, right? So you already have that in common. So that would be, that's a good start. Always ask them. I mean, it might seem, I'm so blunt that I will go up to somebody and say, what do you think about me? You know what? I don't care because I don't have that vested in interest. I know that I'm solid and I'm an honest, authentic person. So I've always been like that. Like India too, she would be down the beach with me and she would sit on someone's blanket. She'd be 3 or 4 and she'd be like, can I have some of that food you're eating? And she would just start eating their food. I'd be like, that's my girl. Yeah, just like fearless in that thing, because it's very freeing when you don't really care what anybody else thinks. I think in my 20s I wasn't so much like that, but I always had confidence. But it's a nice feeling and it's freeing to know that if your intentions are good and you're a decent person, you don't have to worry what anybody else thinks about you. It's really none of your business. If they want to share, that's nice. Ooh, the Tower. Oh my God, I love this. Right after this with the Ace of Cups and Strength. Oh my Lord. Okay, so right now, as soon as I see this, I keep hearing that song from REM, Shiny Happy People, over and over. And I keep seeing Wonder Woman in my head too, the new Wonder Woman. They see you, okay. They see you. If these are people that have gone along some of your life's journey with you as somebody who is absolutely reformed from some old bad habits, like you've turned over a new leaf. In past, you could have had addictions, behavioral problems, a bunch of stuff. You have just gone, that doesn't work for anymore. You had a lot of self-actualizations and realizations, and you are like a brand new butterfly coming out of that crystallysis, because you realize, whoa, why would I do the same thing over when it just brings me sadness, detachment, and all those things? You're like, I want to be part of society. I want to be a functioning human being. I want to chase my dreams. I want to have expansion, friends, love, all that. So you're like, whoo, hey, all the old garbage habits and attitudes, you have cleaned that slate. You have gone into that subconscious and go, I'm not this, that, or the other that somebody else had an opinion of me years ago, and I listened to it over and over and over, and it became part of my inner dialogue. You're like, I am not that. It's a tower moment. You're pulling everything right down to the foundations, and people are in awe of how you have just come from like a wellspring of knowledge and joy, because you've done a lot of those. I don't know, but I see shelves and shelves of like Wayne Dyer and all the self-help books and growing and understanding of people, and also self-help tapes, all those things that were helping you grow internally and learn about yourself. A ton of that. I see all those beautiful books. Ilyana Van Zant, I'm seeing the cover of that. So comment if you have any Ilyana Van Zant books, I think she's called. Yeah, I see that with beautiful, like cool artwork on it. All those things where you were like, whoa, I'm given a shot in this human body at this time with these people around me to function the best I can, and I better restart that button, because I don't want to be known as some craptacular nightmare and some hellscape of my life. You know what I mean? You're like, that is not for me. Crazy land, not for me. I'll pass. Thank you. You want to be healthy. You want to feel better. And you don't want to be someone who's ashamed of any behavior. So you just rip that all down. And people are like, holy shit, look at her go. And because of that, and I believe this 100%, I want you guys to tell me if you've had a phoenix from the ashes moment. I see a lot of this going on, especially with the strength card. And this is how they feel about you. That what would have crushed a lesser person, you just came out the other side with an understanding. You chose to use that to inform yourself, gain knowledge, and receive an understanding of how you in the world works and being part of a community works, as opposed to being a victim. You have no victim stance whatsoever. You are like, well, man, I did that to myself. I decided to tear ass through life like a monkey, and now I'm paying for it. So now I'm going to be a normal human being and do it this way and listen and be respectful and understand other people are on this little round blue ball that we're trying to live well together on, right? Yeah. So again, I feel like a lot of people would have crumbled under that and become drug addicts or worse under some of the circumstances you have to endure. I'm seeing homelessness. I'm seeing bankruptcy. I'm seeing loss of job. I'm seeing divorce. I'm seeing custody battles. I'm seeing a whole bunch in this group. And boom, you've just turned that page and said, no, I am this type of person. I am deciding today that I'm worthy. I see magic all around me. I see love. I see potential. I see opportunities. So that is a thing of the past. I'm walking through this door. And that's beautiful for you guys. I feel like I'm going to cry because I feel like a lot of you guys had moments, heavy moments with family members and friends and these realizations. And they're so happy because you were brought back to the land of the living. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of you had even suicidal thoughts. You were very on the verge of giving up, and you were like, whoa, that's that when you get that tower and that ace, that is a new life. That is a shedding of a terrible old skin that didn't fit you to begin with, but you didn't know how to break out of that. So that's intense. Wow. Very, very good, you guys. Like my throat is going that's amazing. Intense. We all go through intense things in life, right? It's like we love and loss. And at the beginning, I was like that with the first death of a very close family member, and my father dying on Christmas Day. I remember like, oh man, if I didn't go to England and live with Ian and his family and be in that environment, I might not be here today, because that was probably my biggest first loss. And like I said, I always had a sense that, you know, we don't die and so much are born as we come and go into enter and exit different existences. But then I was just married. There was a lot going on, and I was going to have to go sail around the world. So it was too much too soon and all over the place. So yeah, I understand that rocky boat. And when we don't have deep roots in who we are yet, and sense of authentic self, it's very hard to gauge, right? So you guys, you came back from a precipice, a lot of you in this group, and people are highly respectful of that, because you can, and this is really good, this wonder goes with this card, like what people think as tragedies are overwhelming on a daily basis are pretty much a joke to you. Like that woman in front of you that didn't get her friggin' caramelized latte or whatever, you can just laugh that off. Like, is that her hardest thing that she has to overcome? You poor dear. You sure I shouldn't call 911? I sometimes have to refrain when people get overly dramatic over silly things. I'm like, oh, here, I'm going to call the fire department 911. Should I get hazmat? Because this sounds like an international issue. It's crazy. So Wonder says, it's a wonderful thing to be in a state of wonder. And when I'm a good audience to my life becomes better and better. Theater. When something delightful happens, I can shout encore and be tickled when it happens again. When something maddening happens, I can laugh it off. Either way, I'm glad I got a ticket to the show. This is the one enriching part of life too, is that we can always watch. We can watch the theater that is other people's lives develop around us without having to engage and impart our wisdom, our 2 cents, because what happens is people get defensive when there's 2 people in the mix, and when you step back, you're like, wow, this could be resolved so easy if they saw common sense. And every once in a while, if we can placate a situation and bring it down, that's fine. But otherwise, if you hadn't added poison to the mix, you don't have to be the cure. You know what I mean? You didn't set this thing up. Let it play out. But again, it's like, that took me a long time to realize too. I don't have to resolve other people's issues. I don't have to be everywhere at once. I don't have to do this. Just sit back, because it's going to be happening around the Thanksgiving table. People acting extra and crazy. Just sit back, be composed and be the observer so you can save your energy. So that's you guys. Amazing. I'm very happy. So I really, really want to thank you guys. And thank you for all your lovely comments and your dialogue. And yeah, just comment about whatever you want and any topics you want covered, because I love the dialogue with you guys. Are really fantastic. I really, really love you and all the beautiful, sweet things you say and your wonderful comments. And one of my favorite ones I always hear is that, you know, I put a smile on your face for the day, or my voice relaxes you, or you feel like you're having a cup of coffee with a friend. That is pretty much the yardstick that I like to be measured by, that people feel at ease and they feel that they you know, they get a sense of understanding, but also humor and relaxation. Because there's one or two readers I put on that I really like, and I like their voice and they chill me out. And yeah, we're all here to help each other. We're all connected, right? We're all sensing this kind of interconnectedness and a thread that we all weave together, and we can talk about issues and we can resolve things. And the world is friggin' crazy right now. It could not be crazier, right? I don't think we could put another person in power somewhere that couldn't add to this freaking Cocoa Puff fusion of shit that's happening. I just don't think we could. But again, if we don't laugh, fear will come in. So we have to laugh, because everything is temporary. So as long as we remember this, we'll be all right. All right. Thanks, you guys.